What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we have a special package that just arrived. Can you guess what's in it? Well, you should be able to because it's in the title. But all jokes aside, we are going to be taking a look at... It's got packaging. The Sigma 18 to 35. 1.8. Sigma art, you can't forget the A. They put it there for a reason. Alright. Fill that out. Warranty sticker, instructions. Don't need them. This is the real gem. So we have the lens itself. We have the shade, or hood, a nice little foamy case. It's got some foam up there. So, this may not look like much, but it is a blessing in disguise. Because, let me explain this to you. Okay, this is the kit lens, the 18 to 135. This is what I've used for a while. It is a good all-rounder entry-level lens, but it will not take you very far at all making videos. At least if you plan on shooting anything indoors, because this is what they call a variable aperture lens. Take this hood out, clear this table. There. So, why did I decide to go for this lens if I already have this lens, and the lens that you're watching this on? Well, that's pretty simple, because it's fucking awesome. No, but in all seriousness, I picked this lens up because I don't have another lens that can work in low light that's actually a wide angle. The only other prime lens that I have is this 50mm 1.8, which is a great lens, don't get me wrong. I've used it for a lot of videos, but on a crop sensor camera like the 80D that I have, it just doesn't work. 50mm on a 1.6 crop is 80mm, and it's like you're framing someone's forehead and their nose. Like in these shots, you can't tell, but I'm standing all the way in the back of the room trying to get the shot right. Otherwise, I'm just way too zoomed up on people's faces. So this is a 18 to 35, which on the crop sensor comes out to more like 28 to 56mm. But it's still way better of a range than 80mm strictly. And especially being able to do it at a 1.8 aperture, that's insane. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but the zoom on this lens is totally internal. Nothing on this lens moves at all when you zoom. Unlike the kit lens, where if I go to zoom from 18 to 135, boom, look at that. It's like I just popped a chubby on you. Boom! So if you're balancing this on a stabilizer and you want to zoom in from 18 to 50 to 135, that might throw off your balance of the whole stabilizer right there. Whereas this lens is all internal. If you zoom, it's not going to throw off the balance. You can keep it at the same setting on your gimbal and keep shooting until your heart desires. Oh yeah, and did I mention it's a 1.8 aperture? Plus this kit lens, I've been using it for a while, and it's really only sharp between like 5.6 and 7.1 aperture, which is a really slim range when we're talking in terms of lighting. Because the only time you're ever going to shoot between 5.6 and 7.1 is if you have a really light indoor scenario or if you're outside. But any indoor event or live show or anything, you could just take this lens and... Just kidding, I still love it. But what we are going to do is take this 18 to 35 and 18 to 135 out and do some test shots between the two of them. See how much difference the sharpness is on this one versus this one. And hopefully we'll have some noticeable type of difference to report back with. So let's roll it. So my first test was a bokeh test. I took both lenses downtown and I shot them as wide open as I could to see what the differences between the two were. Instantly you'll notice in the Sigma that wide open at 1.8 we have a nice sharp image with blown out backgrounds. Switching over to the 18 to 135, it's significantly underexposed, so I had to bump the ISO up to 400 rather than 100 to compensate. It still gives off a fairly sharp image, but the dynamic range is much less in this lens. And even by opening the lens wide up to 3.5, it still doesn't give that nice bokeh that the Sigma does, which you'll see when we switch back to this shot here. And now this next test is where the Sigma significantly shines over the kit lens, because this is the 18-135 in a darkly lit car. And then when switching over to the Sigma, things get a lot brighter. You can see the interior of the car almost clearly just under the street lights. You can even see the snow falling in the windshield. It's a huge step up. And even in these interior shots, when switching over from the kit lens to the Sigma lens, you'll see a significant increase in exposure value. Keep in mind, this is at an ISO of 800, which is typically the max for a camera like this before introducing a significant amount of grain. And this is one of my favorite comparative shots right here, as you can't even see the background, but then when switching over, you can see everything bright and clear. And it's not just the TV, because as shown here on the kit lens, you can't even make out the rest of the room. But when switching over to the Sigma, you can make out everything bright and clear. And everyone just needs a little meat in their life. Meat. This thing was just kinda sick. Looks like shit on the kit lens though, don't it? Ooh, nice creamy bokeh. Perfectly exposed shot. Nice. And that just about wraps it up for this video, guys. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you slap that like button. I cannot wait to get out and use this lens. And always, if you want to see what I do with this lens, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I will catch you next time. Peace.